Hello, my dear students. I am SBV Subramaniam, Department of Commerce, PHSD St. Teresa's College, Elur. Now, I am going to teach you in this third year, fifth semester for finance students, the subject of fundamentals of international financial management. That is, what is financial management and international financial management, and what are the basic funds, what are the basic duties, what are the basic objectives, and all these things are going to discuss in this unit. That is the first unit, international financial management. Okay, international financial management. What is international financial? What is financial management? So the fundamentals of financial management gives an idea how domestic firms do business and the role of financial management in maximizing shareholders' wealth. But nowadays, many firms have expanding their business across the world by selling products or investing in foreign projects because the firm have competitive advantage and they want to leverage on it. Example, Coca-Cola Corporation has leveraged its internationally recognized brand name and into marketing, production and distribution efficiencies that are not available to local bottlers. That is what is meant by international and what is meant by national. So in nowadays you are all known regarding this one, Amazon, Flipkart, all these marketing strategies or marketing institutions are there. You are all doing so many transactions, online management transactions in that organization, and you are getting number of goods from that Amazon or Flipkart or so on and so forth organizations. So financial, that is all business transactions are doing in this international or national companies. Some are for this extent, we are discussing this financial management idea. So domestic firms means our country, that is local. National firms do business and the role of financial management in maximizing shareholders' wealth. But nowadays, many firms have expanded their business across the world. So in good olden days, only companies doing their business in their own country. But in nowadays, since 10 years and above, since 10 years or above or below, also some of the companies are expand their business throughout the world, not only in this their own country, but also they do their business it throughout the world. Because of the 1991 PV Narasimha government had expanded all the businesses through globalization. That is called globalization measure. So you know about regarding, or you know the word globalization. That is international business. All goods and supplies are useful, or goods and supplies are consumed throughout the world, not only in one country but also in so many countries. So, for example, what we given is Coca-Cola Corporation. Coca-Cola company is not an Indian company, but we are all drink that Coca-Cola drinks. So that is thumbs up, or remaining all drinks are from produced from Coca-Cola, Limca, all these things. Similarly, this is but it is an international company, recognized brand, but it is a brand name, recognized brand name, marketing, production, distribution, etc. Similarly, for agarbattis, our Eluru Agarbatti, Ambika Darbarbati, nationally or internationally very familiar, very famous. Similarly, our Priya pickles, Priya oils, Priya, etc. All Priya branded name articles are produced here and sold other than India. So this is all the things doing. This is all the business that is this financial domestic firms doing their business role of management and maximizing shareholders. That is, so automatically they expand, they maximize their shareholders' wealth and doing business throughout country. Sorry, throughout world also, not country, but also world also. So similarly, so many items are coming from outside the country and doing their business inside our country. Similarly, in recent days, after COVID, our government, our Indian government banned China products, just like for students, TikTok, etc. All these items are born in China. So 57 items are banned by the government earlier, and now they are trying to ban some more items in future also. Similarly, so many items are coming from outside country, or our country items are also going to outside. So this is all national international businesses. For all these for all these things, we are going to discuss in financial management. How they do business in throughout the country or outside the country, beyond the country also. Investments are foreign projects. Investments are in projects or foreign projects investments in India. Similarly, our investments are in foreign, and foreign investments are in here also. FDPs, foreign domestic deposit schemes are here developed, and as a similar, all these things are coming and over and across the world. And so MNCs means MNCs, multinational companies, is one that has operating subsidiaries, branches, or affiliates located in foreign countries. Transactional corporations of the firms whose ownership dispersed internationally. These TNC means transactional corporation. Well, these are usually managed from global perspective rather than from a global perspective of any single country. So here from this international management, international businesses, no item produced or sold in one country. They sold throughout the world, and the other countries' items are also produced and sold in other countries also. Where export and import all the items which are related to our country and related to other countries also. So international businesses are doing very much popularized in this since 10 years onwards. Very much this one, I mean, international business is developed. That's why we are doing this. Amazon, Flipkart, all these organizations are doing extraordinary businesses throughout the world, not only in one country. And customers also customers also liking all these type of businesses. The basic principles of financial management are the same for domestic firms and international firms, but international firms should consider the financial factors that have varying on firms' performance. So international firms should consider the financial factors. So sometimes some items are produced for foreigners only, or sometimes some items are produced in a country, but they not sold in their own country. They all the items produced in that country or in that factory may share to other countries. May share to other countries only, not in their country. For example, in our district, before last year, our students are all among with us. We are going to Garlamadugu near Pedavegi. A coffee powder factory is there. Coffee manufacturing product is there. So we visited all our staff, all our 5 members and students, final year students also visited that factory. They told and explained all about their products and sales, production and sales and etc. They simply told that their production not sold in our country. All items produced in their factory is export to other countries, not import into the not sold in the our country. They just given a small piece of powder to taste to us. That is the items international firms goodwill. International firms goodwill also there, because where the goodwill of that firm or organization product, they produced that items into and produced and sold the items into the foreign countries, not in our country, or I mean native countries. Okay, next one. The factors are foreign exchange rates. The factors are foreign exchange rates, variations in interest rates, different tax policies, different accounting methods, political interference, etc. Therefore, the following discussion gives a brief idea about international financial management, IFM. environment, and how the financial decisions are different from domestic financial decisions. Domestic financial decisions means in our national, that is in our country. IFM, International Financial Management, is other than our country. So, students, listen carefully. Domestic and international differences between domestic and international also. So, factors foreign exchange rates. All these rates of that product or items may be based on foreign exchange rates. Foreign exchange rate, that is, you are all looking into the newspapers or hearing in news, TV news also. The last items exchange foreign, that is stock exchange rate, and variations in gold and silver rate, or share market. All these things you heard in TV news and paper reading, etc. The rates are exchanged. Variations in interest rates. Interest rates also increase or decrease. In nowadays, all deposit rates are decreased. And similarly, different tax policies. In India, there are some type of tax policies. In other countries, there are some more items are there in other countries. Different accounting methods also. Accounting methods means accounting treatment. The accounting treatment is differ from one company to another company, one country to another country, one tax policy to another tax policy. All these things are differed by country to country, place to place, etc. Because so here you see, if petrol or diesel rates are increased or decreased day by day, or weekly ones, or 15 days, or monthly ones. This is, but the rates are decreased or increased from place to place. That is change rate, because in Eluru petrol rate is nearly 80 rupees, but whereas in Vizag it is 75 rupees, because oil petrol is coming from that Vizag. So that's why transport charges are decreased. That's why rate is decreased in Vizag, whereas Eluru it is increased because transport charges are plus. Similarly, tax rate, because state governments, state government taxes are also deferred. In this way, all these rates, all these tax policies, all these accounting procedures, foreign exchange rates, all are deferred. All are deferred. And therefore, the following discussion gives a brief idea about the international financial management. Okay, ma. Next one, meaning. IFM, International Financial Management, refers to the finance function of an MNC or overseas business. Especially, IFM deals with, IFM means International Finance Management. MNC means multinational company. So, overseas means other than our country business. Other than our country business. Investment decision involves capital decisions of different countries. Capital decisions of different countries. So, investment, all shareholders are invested in companies like huge type of name of company name, and they invest only in standard companies, etc. So, financial decision deals with the different sources that can be used for financing international capital budgeting. Financial decision also very much important in what to do, what not to do, in what companies we have to do, we have to invest the amount, or in what companies we are not invested the amount. We can discuss, we can take a decision, financial decision, that is called financial decision. Money management decision, so involves in managing firms' financial resource most efficiently. So, financial manager is more efficient, they automatically involve managing firms' financial resource, from where which we get that firm's amount, resource, financial resource. We can all these things discussed in money management decision. So, next one, similarities between DFM and IFM. DFM is domestic financial management, and IFM is international financial management. So, what are the similarities? What are the similarities between these two? And what are the differences between these two? These two questions are very, very important. These two items are most relevant, most expandable to the student, and you should learn the similarities and dissimilarities also. First of all, in similarities, objective. Profit maximization and wealth maximization are the two objects of financial management. These two goals are the same for the firms which domestic market and the firm in the international market. Profit maximization, that is most important, and wealth maximization are also most important. These two are the main pillars of the business, domestic business. These two goals are the same for the firms which is domestic market and the firm in the international market. Those two are very much important. These two, profit maximization and wealth maximization. What is profit maximization? What is wealth maximization? You already learned in your economics in first year degree or in intermediate also, the profit maximization and wealth maximization. Second one is financial decisions. There are three major financial decisions such as investment decision, financing decision, and asset management. There is no difference between DFM and IFM. Both require judicious mix of the necessary things. There are three major financial decisions. We have discussed already financial decision making. So, in this financial decision making, there are three important one. One is financing decision and asset management, investment management. There is no difference between DFM and IFM. Both require judicial mix of the necessary things. So, judicial management is very much important. Next, what are the differences between these two, DFM and IFM? Environment. Known, each country has a known environment. So, in Indian companies, they know what is the political situation, what is the atmospheric situation, what is the weather conditions of the Indian company. So, they according to that conditions, they produced their product. Whereas international not known. Each foreign country has its own unique environment and may not be possible to understand by MNC management. What is the meaning? So, suppose in our country, summer is from March to July, and the rainy season is from August to October. October to February is rainy season, I mean winter season. Whereas in some other countries, they are differed. So, according to the seasons, the productions are produced by the companies. So, at any country, the company know their environment conditions, and according to that only they produce their items. So, according to environment only, every country has known its environment, but not we don't know the conditions of the international financial management. Okay, ma. Next one, corporate governance. Rules, regulations, and institutions are well known. So, all the rules and regulations of the institutions are known by in our country, whereas we don't know exactly total conditions of other rules and regulations of other countries. We know some items only, some rules, some regulations, some institutions, rules and regulations are known by us, but not total different. So, totally we don't know regarding other countries' rules and regulations. Similarly, recording of transactions recorded only in domestic currency. Domestic currency in India, our currency is rupee, whereas in our other countries, share dollars, etc. All these currencies are differed to country. So, recorded only in domestic currency, received in different countries based on the penetration of the company. Next one is financial analysis. Foreign exchange rates are not included, whereas foreign exchange rates are included. Foreign exchange rates are not in our country. Foreign exchange rates are not included because almost all our products are produced and sold in our country only. Only some items are produced and sold in other countries. Whereas other countries are exchanging, other countries are produced their items and sold throughout the world. Of course, our country also sold other than our country also, but we don't include foreign exchange rates in our this one, and they are included. Next, transactional exposure risk. No risk in our, so in a same country production, no risk, whereas other country it is a risk based. Similarly, political risk negligible in nature. High political risk due to location of subsidiaries and branches across the countries. So, in our country, political risk is not substantiated, was not based, very negligible. Whereas in other countries, it is most important because you see in newspapers or TV or etc. In some countries, if any government is collapsed, downfall, automatically the rates are decreased. The production process is decreased. The sales and environment has also changed. So political risk is more in international financial management, whereas in domestic financial management, it is negligible. Next, modifications of finance theories. No need, no modifications needed in domestic, whereas international needed it to be modified in the areas like capital budgeting or cost of capital, etc. Modifications of financial instruments and use of them may and may not be. It may be used or may not be used. It need to be utilized the new financial instruments like derivatives, letter of credit, LCs and now. So derivatives and letter of credit, etc. are in financial international finance. Next, what is the factors constraining MNC's efforts in maximizing returns? Maximizing returns. And MNC's effort to maximize returns are often affected by various factors. Each can be categorized as follows. Factors constraining MNC's effort, maximizing returns. So, maximizing returns means profits. Return nothing but profits. Maximizing profits efforts are what are the constraints, what are the factors to be influenced, what are the factors to be influenced with the effort maximizing return. And MNC's effort to maximize returns are often affected by various each factors. Each can be categorized as first one, environmental constraints. Each country enforces its own environmental constraints. Building codes, disposal of waste materials, and pollution controls are few examples of constraints. Compliance on these is additional cost to subsidize. What is environmental constraints? Already I told environment. Environment means atmospheric condition. Each country enforces its own environment constraints, is atmospheric conditions. Building codes, disposal of waste materials, and pollution control also few examples of constraints. These three very, very important. Building codes, constraints of building code, disposal of waste materials, and pollution control are very few examples of constraints. Compliance on this additional cost to subsidiaries. Next one, regulatory constraints. Each country also enforces its own regulatory constraints pertaining to taxes, currency convertibility rules, earning, remittance, restrictions, and other regulations that can affect cash inflows of a subsidiary established in a host country. Because this type of regulations influence cash flows, they need to be recognized by financial managers while assessing financial policies. All companies, almost all companies, financial managers' role is very much important. They suggest, they influence all the company's activities. They influence every company's that company's financial resources or financial going and finance resources coming and going. All these are comes under, or all these are controlled by this financial manager. That's why each country also enforces its own regulatory constraints pertaining to taxes. Already we discussed it. Taxes are deferred from place to place, country to country, state to state, etc. Currency convertibility rules. Currency convertibility means country to country. In our country, all currencies one and the same. Suppose we go to another country, then automatically currency convertibility rules are changed. Earning, remittance instructions, and other regulations are also affected in cash flow influences established. Okay, ma. Next one, ethical constraints. Ethical practices vary from country to country. For example, bribery is an acceptable practice in some countries, but it is prohibited in some other countries. Bribery. What is meant by bribery? Do you know? In Telugu, it is called lansam. So, if bribery is banned in countries, some countries, but it is an acceptable in some other countries. In our country, in India, bribery is banned, but in some other countries, it is accepted. That is very important. That is the ethical constraint. Ethical means values, ethical values, moral values. So, but it prohibited in some other countries. The variation in ethical practices puts on MNC in dilemma that it is if it does offer bribes, its reputation receives beating. On other hand, if MNC does not offer bribes, it tends to lose out on business to competitors. On other hand, if MNC does not offer bribes, it tends to lose out on business competitions. Sometimes You all know, you all heard in the TV news or newspapers, some companies are offered bribery to political leaders to establish their organizations in countries or in places. In cinemas also, you see the practice of this one. Bribery is given to the people, ruling people, and they give permissions. They give permissions to the company establishment. They establish a company in some places. So this is all the ethical constraints. Next, reasons for going global. What is meant by global? Global means total business throughout the world. Globalization. That is called globalization. That is called reasons for going globalization. There are 7 primary reasons. They are to expand market, to recover overhead costs, to access raw materials, to seek new technology, to reduce production cost, to diversify, to avoid political reputation, hurdles, etc. What are reasons for going globalization? To expand market throughout the world. In olden days, that is before in 10 years last, the business in the same country, all the business organizations are doing their business in same country only. After globalization, especially from 1991, PV Narasimha government given the opportunity to a platform, common platform, globalization of marketing. Then from 1991 onwards, that is almost all 30 years. Almost all 30 years over. So from 30 years, not 30 years, of course, it very much increased since 10 years. Since 10 years, it is globalization market is very much developed. So expanding of market. Recover overhead cost. Overhead cost. What is overhead cost? You learn overhead cost in your costing subject. Okay, ma. So overhead cost, that is cost of items produced. They mainly products cost is in 3 times. In 3 items. First one is material, labor, and overhead. These 3 are the elements of cost of an item. That is most important. For each and every item, each and every product, cost may be defined on 3 items. One is material, raw material. Second one is labor. And third one is overhead. What is overhead? Overhead means other than material and labor cost. Suppose we purchase a TV in a showroom for 10,000 and bring it to the house. 10,000. How much cost of your TV is? You told only 10,000, but it is not correct. Actual cost of the TV is 10,000, but it taken to the home, auto charges or transport charges 100 or 200, and establishing and connecting a dish antenna or a local TV channel, it will be 300 or 400. So overall cost is 10,000 and odd. So overhead means other than the actual cost, other than the actual amounts paid, that is material and labor, remaining for auto charges, transport charges, TV connection charges, etc. All the other costs, what included is called overhead cost. It will be discussed in our cost accounting subject. Okay, ma. Next one, to access raw materials. Some items are produced, some items are produced in country, but raw materials are not available in that country or not in that place, particular place. Then automatically we import or export from some other places, raw materials. So automatically raw material cost may be increased, or sometimes it may be decreased also. So according to availability of raw materials, we can change, we change the rate of the items. Similarly, to seek new technology in nowadays, technology is very much hype. In recent, these 4 months, due to bad luck this corona, we are all introduced this Zoom app, or learning all items from this online classes. Actually, according to online classes, it is not an impressive to the students, because interaction between student and teacher is very much important. So that is availability of things are to be also taken into account in nowadays new technology to reduce production cost. Production cost is also diminished or reduced to diversify, avoid political and reputation hurdles. Political interference is much important. Political interference, reputation of hurdles. So because if political leaders are entered into the business transactions or establishing a company, automatically the total scenario is changed. I don't explain about regarding that political interference because we are all seeing and watching these TVs and newspapers. You know all these things. Next one, importance of international financial management. Understanding of MNC environment, MNC and financial statement, MNC and risk, MNC and capital budgeting, MNC and capital structure, MNC and working capital management. All these items are comes under this importance of an international MNC environment. Already we discussed financial statement, already discussed risk, capital budgeting, capital structure. All these things are discussed. Okay, ma. Next one, international monetary system. That is also IMS, International Monetary System. It refers primarily to set of policies, institutions, practices, regulations, and mechanisms that determine the rate at which one currency is exchanged for another. Every country needs to have its own monetary system and authority to maintain order in system. So, at which one currency is exchanged for another. Currency exchange. In olden days, you learned in your economics barter system. What is barter system? You know? Yes, you all know. Exchange of goods. Exchange of goods for one goods to another goods. In villages, in nowadays also, if the practice is going on. They are giving rice to the buyer, the seller, and they give items to the buyer. So, in this way, that is called barter system. What is barter system? Exchange of goods, goods to goods. Similarly, currency, which one currency is exchanged to another currency. Every country needs to have its own monetary system and authority to maintain order in the system. Monetary system facilitates trade and investment. India has its own monetary policy, which is administered by RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India. All in our India, Reserve Bank of India controls and regulates all financial transactions. Monetary system, monitoring all the facilities, trades and investments. Policies are administered by RBI. Primarily, RBI aims at controlling inflation and money supply and maintaining interest rates that are helpful to economic growth. So, money supply and maintaining interest rates that are helpful to economic growth. A country's economic growth may be increased or decreased according to this interest rates of the country. So, in nowadays, you look into the papers since this 4 months, all deposits of deposit rates, loans rates are decreased by the RBI. So, similarly, rates of the items are also decreased. Some items are increased. When we think the world economic growth, there is a need to have an IMS to promote trade and investment across the world. Next, balance of payments. Last one is balance of payment. BOP. It is called as balance of payment. Is a statistical statement that systematically summarizes for a specified period of time the monetary transactions of an economy with the rest of the world. Okay, ma. Systematically summarize for a specifically period of time the monetary transactions of an economy with the rest of the world. Monetary system, very much important. So, all that is state government and all state governments are controlled and controlled by the central government. Central government is monitoring all financial institutions. In nowadays, since this 4 months, central government is giving so many liberalizations to the state government, releasing this ration to the poor people free of cost. Similarly, rates of that is loans repayment are also monetarized. Monetarized. 3 months monetization. Moratorium is imposed. Moratorium is imposed in the country. So March, April, May payments are not paid by the customers. If they want to pay, they will pay, or otherwise they can extend their time period without without charging any interest rate, penalty interest rate. So monitoring all these things are by the RBI. Put in simple, it is the statement that gives difference between inflow and outflow payments for a particular country. Government policy makes the need BOP data for measuring economic activities in order to evaluate the general competitiveness of domestic industry, to set the exchange rate or interest rate policies, and for many other purposes. So all these exchange rate or interest rate are changed by the central government or state government or Reserve Bank of India or RBI. That is, so all these things are domestic industries or exchange rates are reduced or changed. Transactions include export and import of payments. BOP is an accounting statement prepared on double entry bookkeeping system. So you all know regarding double entry bookkeeping. What is meant by double entry? So any transaction may be recorded in 2 times, because in olden days single entry system is there. Only one time every transaction is being recorded in olden days, not in good olden days only, not in nowadays. All organizations, all firms, all companies are following double accounting system only. For double accounting, the main reason is for every transaction there may be recorded in, it must be recorded in 2 times, giving and receiving, giving and receiving. So BOP is an accounting statement. BOP is an accounting statement prepared on double accounting system. All currency influences are recorded as credit, outflows are reduced as debits. So inflowing is currently recorded in credit item, and outflowing, that is going out, is recorded as a debit. Excess of credit over debit increase surplus, and vice versa. Excess of credit over debit, that is income over expenditure. Income over expenditure is called surplus or excess. Excess of debit over credit is called deficit, loss. Okay, ma. So BOP, balance of payments, as a statement. Categories of BOP: current account, capital account, and official reserve account. In these three types, BOP is categories. Current account, current accounts in banks. If you have any business organizations, all business organizations are conducting only current account. Capital account, that is all organizations maintain capital. Official reserve account, almost all companies must maintain reserves, because in future we can't expect. See, in these 4 months, anybody did not expect this type of situation, financial situation throughout the world. Some companies decrease their employees, remove their employees to get benefit, to get loss, to recover loss, because no production is there. Especially in April and May, no production. March month ending to May, there is no production in any company. Almost all companies are shut down. So no production is there. Automatically, no. If no production is there, no sales. So no sales, no income to the company. So in that situation, reserves are maintained abnormally or accumulatedly. Automatically, company may maintain, or otherwise they may downfall. Okay, ma. Next one. So this is all one regarding this IFM introduction chapter. Okay, ma. With this, I ended this first unit. I will explain all in detail. If you want, I will explain next one. Okay, ma. Thank you all.